What's cracking, everyone? My name is Ryan, and today we're going to talk about these. These are the new KOSS BT740iQZ wireless headphones. They retail in at $149.99. I want to send a special thank you to KOSS for sending these out for my review. As usual, all thoughts and opinions are of my own. But for right now, let's check these out. Alright, so the 740i, as I will refer to them, are a Bluetooth 5.0 headphone with multi-point. It has active noise canceling, it has an ambient sound mode, it has onboard controls, which are going to be on the right cup of the headphone, has a wireless range of about 30 feet, which in my testing I found to be pretty accurate. It has a uptime on the battery of about 30 hours without ANC, and if you're using ANC, it's about 22 hours. These do have voice assistance compatibility, and they have dual microphone and dual ANC mode, which basically means that out of each side of the cups, there are microphones that will help to pick up the outside noise to decide on the ANC and the ambient sound. And then inside the box, you are going to get the headphones, of course. You also get this pretty nice leather pouch so that you can fold these up and put them right inside the pouch, as well as you do get a USB-A to micro USB charge cable. Now, I kind of wish they would have opted for USB-C, but they went micro USB. It is what it is, but you do get the charge cable inside the box, as well as the manual to explain the device. So we're going to jump right in first and just talk about build and comfort. And I gotta say, build wise, this is really solid for a wireless headphone, especially in the cost range that it is. It wasn't a slip on words. And it's solid plastic all the way around, but it is a very sturdy plastic. And I do like the, silver accent on the cup that you'll see here. The pads are a leather-like material. They're extremely soft and cushiony. And then they adjust out really easy in and out, and it is metal on the band. The only downside I would say as far as comfort goes would be the headband up top here. This is a rubber type material on the headband, and honestly, I'll put this on my head. When you wear this on your head, you do feel this because it's kind of a thin material. So I did find myself needing to adjust these after a while of listening because I would get some discomfort having this headband on my head because it is so thin. But overall, I was very satisfied with the build and comfort. Also, one thing I should show you is that these fold up really easy, just like this. And they fit inside the pouch just fine, so you can grab these and take them on the go, which I love that about this headphone. And the pads, these are over-ear headphones, but for me, I've got some Dumbo ears going on here, so my ears kind of squeeze inside here, and the cups, as far as the shape to put your ears into, it's pretty small. So if you have small ears, you're probably going to be fine. Honestly, even my wife, Bree, put these on her head and thought the ear cups were just a little on the small size. Ear pads were a little bit on the small size, but they do work perfectly fine. And I do find them to be comfortable. Now, because they are a leather-like material, they do get hot, especially if it's a hot day outside. So I did find myself a little bit of sweat after using them. But the nice thing is the type of material this is just wipes right off. No problems there at all. So we're going to go and just jump right into sound next, and then we'll talk about the features of this headphone. All right, so for sound, I really just want to say these are a fun sounding headphone. This is nothing audiophiles are going to pick up and just analyze the crap out of their music with. So this has really got a lot of hard-hitting bass to it and just a lot of low-end energy to this, to where it does overpower the mid-range and even somewhat the treble region. So if you're somebody that's wanting to listen to a lot of singer-songwriter stuff, or maybe you're into a lot of classical music, well, as long as you don't have classical music with a lot of bass going on, you're probably going to be okay. But this one just has a ton of bass going on. And I wouldn't say it's overly boomy or anything like it's going to vibrate your head. It's just very present in the bass region. And so listening to hip-hop tracks, EDM, electronic music, things like that, there's a lot of beat. And I think that's not a bad thing when it comes to wireless headphones or wireless earbuds, because to me, it's like kind of like this, right? I mean, You see people out, on the football field, baseball, whatever, and they've got their, wireless headphones, they've got their Beats, whatever they want to wear around their neck, and they're kind of walking around. Then when they stick them on their head, they want their music to get them up and get them moving. And I think these are going to get you up and moving. Now, when you're listening to the lyrics and things of rap and hip hop music, Kendrick Lamar, Lil Durk, Jay-Z, Eminem, whoever you're listening to, it's going to drown out some of those lyrics at times, and they're just not going to be as present. You can hear them. They're just not as present. And I would say the mid-range in general is a little bit on the muffled side. And what I mean by that is, like, have you ever heard somebody talking like this? And they're trying to tell you what's going on, and, you're trying to spit some lyrics. And if I'm trying to rhyme in time without dropping a dime, you see what happens when I don't have my lemon and my lime. And clearly, this is why I'm doing this. That's kind of what I'm saying with the mid-range of this, is that it sometimes is a little bit hollowed and a little bit muffled, and you just don't get as much of that. So guitars and things just aren't as present. The treble region is relaxed. I would say if there's one thing I wish this headphone had, was a little bit more treble energy to make this kind of a V-shaped tuning, because at least when you are listening to tracks with heavy beats, but also vocals or lyrics or things, you'd be able to hear those a little more clear. But it's not that way. Even like classical music, if you wanted to turn on the ANC and just, close your eyes and listen to some classical, again, as long as it's not too bassy, you're probably going to get an okay listen out of it, but it's not going to be the greatest listen ever. But these still are going to be great for energetic music to get you up and get you going. So I'm going back to where I said at the beginning, this is a fun sounding headphone. All right, so with that, why don't we go ahead and talk about the features of the device? All right, and so for features, let's walk you through the control panel here to describe that. So first thing is you get these really nice buttons on the side here that have 2 dots for volume up, 1 dot for volume down, and the middle one's a bigger dot so that you can tell that's your mode and power button. So when you're feeling around on there, you can easily tell what those buttons are. And just like it sounds, volume up, volume down, the volume up, if you hold that will actually skip the track forward. Same thing with volume down, will go backwards. The middle button is your mode button, so you can use that for pairing this up, for pairing up for a multi-point, and also for using the voice assistance feature. And then the bottom button here, which is really easy to find, that is going to be for your ANC and for your ambient sound modes. Now, I think the star of the show for the features is, in my opinion, the ANC and the ambient sound. ANC, I was out with my family walking, around the neighborhood, and it was a windy day. I turned the ANC just on low, and that wind noise cut down to almost just a whisper. And that was very, very nice to be able to do that. But then when I turned it on ANC high, the wind went almost completely out. I had no wind. I could still barely hear my family around me. And it was just really nice to kind of be in the zone and be in my music and have that ANC working so well. Now, when you use ambient mode, that is going to cancel out the ANC. And then ambient mode is going to pick up those sounds around you and kind of emphasize those a little bit more. So just be aware of that. So like fans and things you have running, you're going to really be able to hear those. But feature-wise, I do think there's a lot going on for this headphone. The last thing I did not mention is about taking and receiving phone calls. You can, of course, do that. And I thought it worked just fine. It was nothing that was out of this world great. But when I was talking to somebody on the phone in the headphones, they didn't ask me if I was not using my cell phone. So there you go. It worked good enough. All right, that pretty much wraps up my thoughts on the KOSS 740i, which, can we change the naming of these headphones? No, I'm kidding. It's all right. All right, guys, hopefully you like this video. If so, please smash that like button. And if you haven't done so already, I would love if you'd subscribe to the channel because, well, I got content coming up right around the corner. I thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.